Hey guys, welcome back to Suitcase Princess. My name is Shanna. If you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4 who loves to encourage you to take your babies and get out of the house. We come here and we share what we're learning along the way to help you find more fun in what you're doing, more value in the dollars that you're spending, and do it all with a little bit less stress. Today, I want to come here and I want to share with you our character dining review, kind of as a whole, talk it through a little bit, from our recent and many travels to Walt Disney World. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find us right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Suitcase Princess. So, let's talk about character dining. If you are new to the Disney scene, you may have absolutely no idea what I am talking about. But what I am talking about is that when you go to any theme park, you can basically go in and find a place to order a hot dog from a window. And that is called a quick service restaurant in Disney lingo. Above that would be a place where you went in and you sat down to have a meal, which all require reservations. And that is a table service restaurant. Now, then there is deluxe dining, which is like really fancy dining. Character dining restaurants are the table service. You go in and you are seated at a table, and it does require reservations quite a bit in advance. We're going to talk about that. Character dining is a meal, a table service meal, where you go in and you sit down, and it is called character dining because by booking this experience, you have access to Disney characters that are specific to that restaurant. And in some of them, like at Agershoes, they come to your table. In some of them, like at Be Our Guest, you go and you get in line to meet the Beast. So character dining is basically dining, having a meal with a little bit of an upcharge to get to see the characters. And there are some, for example, Be Our Guest. Beast is exclusive to that. That is exclusivity. So if you want to see the Beast, you got to get into Be Our Guest. And that is how that works, okay? So let's talk about reservations. So reservations, if you're staying on property, can be booked up to 60 days in advance, but it is 60 plus 10. So as soon as the first day of your reservations or of your Disney vacation, if you are on property, is at 60 days, you can then also book for the next 10 days for specialty reservations, like experiences like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique or Building a Lightsaber, and for dining. So even if it is not necessarily a character dining, you are going to need a reservation for table service restaurants, and they're all available right through the My Disney Experience app or on their website, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern time is when you can book those, okay? So go ahead and get onto the site and make your reservations. Now, who needs reservations? Everyone. If you have a baby that is like 3 months old and it's gonna stay strapped to you, that baby needs to be included in your dining reservation. You do not pay for them, but they need to be included on the reservation, okay? Something else to keep in mind is that you do wanna look at these menus ahead of time just to make sure that there is something someone in your family will eat, and they are really good at dietary restrictions, things like that. You also need to know that you will be charged the adult price if it is like a fixed meal, if there's a kind of a fixed menu versus ordering like specific entrees off the menu. You will be charged the adult price for your children who require an adult ticket. And who is that? It's everyone over 9. Everyone over 9. So my 10-year-old who barely eats was charged just as much as my husband and I. So it is a little painful, but it's important to factor that in. There are also 2 locations, Cinderella's Royal Table and Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, that require upfront payment. So you do pay, and then if anything changes, they'll refund you at the restaurant at time of your reservation, but you do actually pay for those in full upfront, whereas the others are reserved with a credit card, and you can put your dining restrictions, dietary needs, allergens, all of that stuff right into the app when you're making the reservation. So let's talk about the restaurants that we did visit on our recent trip. I'm gonna run down a few of the ones that I'm familiar with. There are more, but I have never been there and I am not familiar with those, but there are plenty of information out there. If you need to find that, just search that specific restaurant. And then I would also search that specific restaurant with 2022 or 2023, because so many things are still so different as compared to like 2019, because things have not fully returned. This recent trip, we did go to Crystal Palace, Agershoes, and Tusker House. Crystal Palace is located in the Magic Kingdom, and it features Winnie the Pooh characters. So it's got Tigger, Pooh, Piglet, and Eeyore, and they come around to your table in a cycle. They have handlers. It's like all very good. Something else you need to remember, sorry, to jump back, is that you need to take your own camera. They will sign autographs. You take your own camera. There are not photo pass people for them there. You need to take care of that, okay? So be sure to have your phones ready. And you go in and you get seated at your restaurant. And Crystal Palace, I absolutely love because it's like American style food. So my kids can get what they want, like a burger and mac and cheese. And my husband and I have more of the foods that we are familiar with, but it is a buffet. So it's tons of stuff. It's wonderful. I personally love my money saving hack. Plus it's absolutely what I love is that we will book about the latest breakfast time that we possibly can in order to get essentially brunch, because it's a little cheaper. It's a few dollars cheaper than the lunchtime cost. And sometimes you actually stagger the 2 meals where you can get breakfast food and lunch food if you wait a few minutes. So we love that. A full dessert buffet, and I will insert tons and tons of pictures, but we absolutely love Crystal Palace. It's just a really good experience. It's very fun. The characters are great. I personally love everything about it. Now here, because I don't actually remember off the top of my head what we paid, but here is what we paid for essentially 3 adults and 1 child, even though one of my child is a child. Okay, so this is it worth it? You have to really want it to be worth it. We did do several character dining experiences this trip because it's kind of our last hurrah with littles who are really, really into that. And so it was important to my mom's soul and to my children to do those things. We booked Crystal Palace because my youngest absolutely loves Pooh. We booked Acre-Shoes because my oldest absolutely begged to do it. And we booked Tusker House because it's a family favorite. So that is why we did those things. Now let's move on to Tusker House. Tusker House is located in Animal Kingdom. It is a perfect character meal experience because there's just not a ton to do in Animal Kingdom. You can easily put this into your day without having to sacrifice time doing anything else. So for me, it's a wonderful experience. We like to do, again, that brunch time, which is really awesome. The food is really great. The service is always really great. You meet Goofy, Daisy, Donald, and Mickey in their like safari outfits. Super fun. The juice is great. The food is great. You get Simba waffles. It's fantastic. We absolutely love this dining experience. Love it. Anytime we've had anybody go with us, like we've got to go to Tusker House. Tusker House for us is just such a huge family favorite. I love it. And it fits perfectly into an Animal Kingdom day, especially around brunch time. So go ahead, be sure to do it. It's so fun. We love it. I even love their like lunch and evening food. It's so good. Such a wonderful meal. Service is stellar. Just absolutely stellar. Acre-Shoes. I have to tell you, we have been going to Acre-Shoes since my youngest was bitty or my oldest was bitty. And until this time, we have had the same waiter every time, which I know is really crazy. His name is Kim and he's straight from Norway. Okay. So Acre-Shoes, while it was because at the time Cinderella's Royal Table hadn't started with any more princesses than Cinderella. So it was the only place to get kind of all of those princesses in. You get to see Legs Ariel, which is so cool. So it's like, we saw Ariel. I'm trying to remember Ariel, Aurora, Jasmine, Belle, Snow White. Some of those. I'm gonna correct it right here if I need to. Oh, I forgot to, and I'll put the cost of Tusker House. I will have laid it on the bottom. Okay, so they were only open for dinner. I think we got about the earliest reservation time that we could. It's not back to full buffet, so you don't really have a choice. They bring you family service, and it cost so much money because the price had gone up. The character experience is great. I've loved it every time we've gone in the past, being able to do it for breakfast. You can get in pre-park opening Epcot. It's wonderful. You're right by the Frozen ride, high demand ride. Right now, I don't think it's worth it. Guys, I don't. We overpaid. I did not feel like it was worth it. To double the fact is that it's classically Norwegian food, which I knew. And it still just puts a little bit of parameter on my kids as far as what they're gonna eat or how much they're gonna eat. And so I'm pretty sure it was close to $300. Not to mention it took time out of our Epcot day when we could have been eating and drinking around the world because there's so many amazing and fun things to eat at Epcot. We were there during the arts festival. There's so much fun stuff to do. So right now, nope, it's not. Not to mention every one of the princesses that I mentioned, with the exception of Legs Ariel, because Finn Ariel had just reopened in Magic Kingdom. You can meet every single other princess there. Okay, so Legs Ariel special. If you need Ariel with legs, you can do that there. But if you go to get her with a fin, you can do it in Magic Kingdom. So there's nothing that makes it like wickedly special as far as that goes. So no, it was absolutely not worth the cost this time. It just wasn't. It super wasn't. There's things that I feel like could have made it better if it was the price it used to be, if it was a full buffet, if I'd been able to do it for breakfast. Any of those would have made it better for me, but because it wasn't, no, it wasn't the right choice for us, but I wouldn't make that choice again. That's what I'm saying. Did it, tried it, no thanks. Other things we've done in the past. So we have done Be Our Guest in the past. It was before they changed to a fixed menu and you only get to meet the beast. There's a big misconception that you also get to meet Belle. You do not. You do not. Lots of people are really unhappy. It's just the beast. And he either like walks around now. I don't even know if he's back to doing like standing still photos, but it was like you ate and then you went and got in a line and met him. It's like a whole kind of a weird thing. Really do your research on that one if you're thinking about it because the cost is quite high. Cinderella's Royal Table. Again, lots of princesses. They do like the wishing star. They all do like a little show, like dance or whatever. The kids used to be invited to come up and dance and trail through the restaurant with them. They're not anymore. I don't know if that's a COVID thing or what, but it is what it is. Last time we went to Cinderella's Royal Table, our last trip in the fall of 2020, it was just Cinderella, and I'm trying to remember if you met her downstairs or if she just came out and waved upstairs. So the food is better than some of the other places. I would agree with that, but is it worth the cost? If it's your one and done, eat in the castle, dude. If it's important to you, by all means, but think about it. Because I used to always tell you Acre Shoes was definitely better than Cinderella's Royal Table, but right now, especially if the princesses are back, I would think Cinderella's Royal Table would be the better value. However, it costs more and is very expensive. So that. Just giving you the information. One of our past favorites, which I don't think they've actually started doing this again yet, is Trattoria Al Forno did a breakfast, princess breakfast. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. The food was stellar. Stellar. The only drawback that I have, saying complete with Chef Mickey, is that it is hard for us, because we were like, go, 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 park people. It's hard for us to make it to reservations that are not in a park because it takes so much time. I don't find the value in it. Same complaint with Chef Mickey, which again, these were all pre-COVID reservations here. So just so you know, but it was like Ariel and Eric and then Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. And one time Flynn Rider wasn't there and instead we got Merida. It was, oh, they come to your table. It was so great. And they come like as couples. It's so, so, so good. I really hope they bring it back. It was amazing. The food was so, so good. That was highlight of my list. It's right on the boardwalk. So good, so good, so good, so good, so good, so good. Love it, so good. So if it comes back, it's good to pair with an Epcot day or Hollywood Studios day because it's really close right there. So good. Okay, Chef Mickey is in the Contemporary and it has, I'm trying to remember who it has. I think it's Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, maybe Pluto. Trying to remember. It's fun. It was a breakfast buffet. We had a good time. We did it once. That's done. Yeah, I don't like wasting my out-of-park time. So it just, you know, it's like the same stuff you get everywhere else, but you could get it in the park. So that depends what your focus is. It's a really good solution if you're going and you don't have like any park days, or if you have like a late checkout and like something to do on your last morning. If you're not going to a park, that's a great time to do those things. Hollywood and Vine. Hollywood and Vine is super fun. In the morning, they do Disney Junior. We've done that. And then in the afternoons, they do like mini seasonal dine. We've not done that. So it's like different character in the morning is Disney Junior for breakfast. And then it swaps over to be like mini, I'm going to have to confirm because I don't remember, but it's like seasonal characters come out. Hollywood and Vine, very similar to Crystal Palace, same kind of like American flair food. So it's a very similar menu. It's super fun. And it's one of the things that you can pair sometimes. And you can do this with some of the ones in Epcot as well, where you can pair it with a like a fast pass to the evening show. So like to Fantasmic or to Candlelight Processional in Epcot, things like that. So you can pair it where you get special seating at those shows by paying a few dollars more on your food. So it really can be a pretty good value and deal. Hollywood and Vine is great. You got Disney Junior lovers. We saw Fancy Nancy, Vampirina, things like, we used to Jake and the Neverland Pirates back when that was a thing. Okay, Garden Grill. Garden Grill we've only done one time. It's in Epcot, it's in the land, and it's like Farmer Mickey and Chip and Dale. And one other person, maybe Pluto, but you go into the restaurant and just, I think it's just for breakfast it has characters. Maybe it has characters all the time, but it turns. And it goes through part of Living with the Land, but the restaurant is turning the whole time. Again, they do like, because of the way the restaurant is set up, they've always done like the table service. They bring you a bunch of everything to the table, which is great because you can always ask for more of this or less of that or whatever. You can get as much as you want. It's just they bring it to you. You don't actually go queue up in a buffet. Our experience with that was absolutely fantastic. We love Garden Grill, absolutely fantastic, but we have only done it the one time. So Yes, I hope I will have remembered to put in all the costs of everything. That is my kind of crash course on character dining at Disney World with my recent experiences. Again, the only ones I do have experience with since everything has shut down and reopened and the world is changed is Cinderella's Royal Table from our last vacation, Agershus, Tusker House, and Crystal Palace from this vacation. So if you were wondering, that is how that all went. Again, some of them are worth it and some of them are not, but that is for you and your family to decide. I just wanted to give you a little bit more information to help you make the decision. So guys, I hope you found this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right down in the comments or over on Instagram at Suitcase Princess. Have fun, guys. Enjoy your character dining. You can also Google like which characters are where, because that can help you decide. There's some wonderful people out on the internet who've put together like infographics that show like the pictures of the characters with the restaurant. So go Google, and it will give you anything that I was not able to address here. And don't forget to price your big kids as adults. It hurts. It hurts so bad, but it is what it is. Bye, guys.